Ah, is this thing working? I don't know. We'll see. You know, um, yeah, it says streaming. Oh, it is working. All right. I can see. See. That's how I know it's actually working. Oh, what's up, guys? This your boy John. Polar Ice. I'm chilling. I'm in the lab. I've been in the lab for like the last week and a half doing some cool stuff. I mean, cool stuff. Automating some stuff, making some stuff. But what I just made today, and I'm just checking status on it. Okay. Um, it's pretty magical. So let me share my screen real quick and just show you what I am seeing here. And hold on a second. Another thing is too, I don't know if I can see my chat, just just in case somebody actually chats with me. Let me see. It says connect chat. Okay. No, I guess it's chatty. Let me see if I chat in this comment section, will it show up? Let's say, will it show? I have to show you this new OneStream Live app that I'm using. It's supposed to allow me to stream to multiple places at the same time. Well, I see the comment on the phone. I don't see the comment on this thing. Let me see. Am I doing something wrong? It says read only. I don't know. Who cares? I mean, just understand that if you say something, unless I'm on this phone or looking at this phone, I probably won't see it. But cool. So let me share the screens. Let's so you can see what I'm seeing. All right. I know it's hard to read. Don't worry about that part. There's nothing too big. Let me see. I can spotlight this and makes it a little bit bigger. So that's what's going on in my screen right now. And this is a shell program. It's working inside of a terminal screen, which is very code level stuff for coders. You know, I don't know what any of this is, but it's actually working. So it's like if you can see, let me read this. The first lines up here, it's saying processing segment 15/23. So it's 15 of 23, right? The image, it's image number 15. It's named end of the book, and then audio 15 end of book. So what it's doing is I've got two folders out here, and now I can show you those. So I got two folders in here. I got slides and audio tracks. And if I go into the audio tracks, let's say for module one, lesson one, these are all the audio tracks that go along with each slide, right? And then, of course, I have the uh, I have the slides, module one, lesson one. So those are the slides for each of those, um, for each of the things. So what I wanted to do was what I wanted to do was take audios and put them together with the video, right? And to to make one long movie out of it, right? As opposed to doing this all in one take or anything like that. What I wanted to do is like get the script for slide one and then record it. Then get the recording for slide two, record it, right? So I've got all 23, or 22 recordings. And then they're all individual and all the slides are individual PNG files, right? So those are just picture files. And I wanted to get those or put them together. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be able to have my image display for slide one as long as the audio for slide one was playing. And then when it goes to slide two, it would change, just like you would normally do a slideshow. But I needed to do it in pieces. And that's one of the things that I've been working on is that, I'm doing these with AI audio. And the deal is with AI audio, and this is a tip, is that AI audio for long form, right? Um, this is going to be like 20 minutes. The longer you go with AI audio, the worse it can get. It's sort of like it doesn't almost remember the tone and the way it's supposed to be speaking about a topic. After it gets too long, it doesn't really, you know what I'm saying? It kind of loses some of its flame, some of its fire. And so what I figured out was that if you cut it up into smaller chunks, then it sounds more natural, which is kind of weird if you think, you wouldn't think about having to cut things up to make them sound more natural in a long format. But that's one trick I've learned with dealing with AI stuff is that if you cut it up and do it in smaller chunks, it works better. Like the longer it gets, sometimes the more it will hallucinate when it's coming to text written stuff. And when it comes to audio, it does somewhat the same thing. And now it won't hallucinate as much because it's following a script usually, but it sometimes it just flakes out. It'll make like jump cuts inside of it where it sounds weird. Anyway, so that's why I had to do this way, right? But now that I've got tracks and I've got slides, I want to put them back together to make one long 20-minute movie. And I'm like, I can do this in I can do it in CapCut. I can do it manually in um, uh, Canva or something like that. Any, video editing tool will easily do that, but it won't do it automatically. And that's where I was like, man, I started looking what tool with AI could actually do this. And I struck out. I could not find a tool that would do it this way. Now, there's tools that do all kinds of, uh, video, AI generated text to video. It'll do that. But just the simple take these two files and combine them into one, and then take the next one and combine that in onto that. I couldn't find anyone to do that, right? So I was like asking Chat. Well, no, I was in Claude, but look at this. You can see it running now, right? So see, it's still doing these, right? It's like at 9 of 23. It's on to the next one. And this one has 23 individual slides and audio. And then the way I'm naming these, I can look at it. And that's why I had to look at it just now, just to make sure it's running the right stuff. So the way I've named it, I can tell, that's 6 image is with 6 audio and they're in lock sync. Anyway, so yeah, that's cool. And the the deal was I could not find any tool that would do this, what I'm having this thing do, and run autonomously. I mean, once I start that, the only thing I'm looking at, I'm the only human part in the loop for me at this point is just making sure that those are the right 2 files, and because sometimes I've made like an intro slide that shouldn't be there. It's like there might be an intro title slide instead of just the first slide of the audio. And so I have to remove that just so to make sure that they all line up. But anyway, it's working like freaking perfectly now. And here's the key. This is the promise that I made is that I actually combined these using a shell script, and it's all running on my local, you know, uh, computer. And this is how it started. So I used Claude, and I told Claude, I said, I have individual PNG files, which are picture files, and individual MP3 files that I need to join together. And it came back and said, here's a simple Python script, that'll let you do the two. Okay, well, that's freaking great, but what the hell am I supposed to do? And, aren't snakes dangerous? I mean, what do I do with this Python thing? That writes this code. I'm like, okay, um, I don't know what to do with this thing. And so then at the end, it says to use the script, install the required libraries, and then run the scripts. I'm like, okay, um, sure, no problem. I'll do that. How do I do that? Now, I'll give you one thing. I said I'm a beginner, and I am a beginner. The only thing I do know is that Python and things like this need to run in a terminal window, right? And what I mean by that, well, I can't show you the terminal window. This is the terminal window, right? It's running in this terminal window, and you can get a terminal window just by going in on a Mac, but I'm sure it's somewhere in Windows. You type terminal, it'll open up a terminal window. And then that'll have a little flashing uh, line. It feels like old school. It's very old school, you know. Um, and that's where you start putting in this content. But I didn't know how to build anything or what folder for it to be. I didn't know any of that. All I did know is that, hey, you got to put this in a terminal, right? And so it's giving me the options. I got to use this Python library. I'm like, okay, you know. Um, so I'm like asking it, is there a way I can join the audio with the images so it stays in sync with each segment? And it was like, oh, okay, I get it. You want to organize these so that they stay together. I'm like, yeah, that's what I need. Right. So it rewrites this script, and it tells me to install Movie Pi. And to do that, I need to go to, in my shell script and type in pip install Movie Pi. So I did that. It actually started working, somewhat. But then I got a return back, and can you see this? You can't. Oh, you can. So this is what I did. I typed it in pip install Movie Pi, and then it came with command not found. So this is part of the secret sauce here. All I did was took a screenshot of what my response was. Right, that's a screen capture, and I fed it back into chat. I can't even say chat, but it was Claude. But I guess you could do it in Chat GPT too. They both can code. So I put it back in. It says, "Hey, I said I got not found, and here's the image." And it's like, I see you're trying to install MoviePy by getting a command not found pip error. This means pip or PIP, Python package installer, isn't installed, or it isn't in your path on your MacBook Air. Let's fix this issue so you can all install MoviePy. So it tells me the first thing I need to do, check if MoviePy is installed by entering this command. And if I go to the right side, I can just copy, and that's all I did, is I would copy these commands and put them into the command line, right? And then it would come back, and then I would do part two, and then part three. And then it gave me an option to, if you prefer to don't use that, you can use FFmpeg directly. I don't know what FFmpeg directly is, and I didn't know. Okay, so I didn't do option, the other option, and then the other Option two is to use iMovie, which I know I could do. I have to import all the images, all the audio file, then drag each image to the timeline, adjust the length of the image on the timeline to make sure that it matched up with the audio. I didn't want to do all that. I mean, the amount of time that was going to take me to do that, even for the one file. And I've got 19 of these type files, and so I didn't want to do that. I was like, no, that's not going to work. It's going to take too much time. And I literally went to bed right about here last night where I was kind of frustrated. I had gone back and forth. I couldn't get it to work. I was pissed off, not pissed off, but it was like 1:30 in the morning at this point. And I didn't, plan on coding all night long or even figuring out how to code all night long. So, um, you know, hey, Dr. Tajiri. I don't know why I said Tarji. That was a person I graduated from school with. Hey, Jennifer, you can see what I'm doing. Um, so, any rate, that's when I went to bed. And I went to bed and I was like thinking about all of the time it was going to take me to do this. And then I got up this morning. I said, you know what? I'm going to at least get, for the first part of the morning, I'm going to go back and try to get this thing to run. So I was kind of more determined in the morning because I figure, hey, it's going to take me probably an hour or more just to do one file. So I was looking at 19 hours of work trying to combine all these videos and audio. And it's like, I don't want to do that. So let me try this again. So, anyway, I got up this morning and I put in this, right? So I put in the PIP install. It said not found. Then I came back and tried the PI, Python PI, whatever the hell it is, and it came back saying can't open the file, right? So I just did the same thing, man. Screenshot that error and put it back in. And it says, I see you're having trouble with the pip installation and the get pip file, right? So it said first you got to download the get pip file. So it gave me this um, command to put in. I put it in, and then I ran this Python pip, whatever. Fantastic. It worked. And after you can install it, then you need to install MoviePy. And now I'm seeing, I'm getting these command lines that are saying it worked, it worked. I can see it actually doing something. It's all working. Then it's like, okay, now you install Homebrew. I did that. I did all of that. All right. Um, and followed its instructions. So just feel me. We're just going back and forth. And so here's what my screen looked like. See, so this is me putting in the commands right here, and it's doing these, collecting this and that and the third. Then somewhere but down here in the bottom, I got another, error, and I couldn't get past that error. So I had to put this in. And now I'm not even saying anything. Remember before I was like, hey, I got this error, and I put the screenshot in. Now I'm not even doing anything. I'm just putting a screenshot in. And I put the screenshot in and it says, hey, I can see you've successfully installed MoviePy. I can see that you completed with some warnings in the scripts about the path, but those won't prevent MoviePy from working properly. So now I've got MoviePy installed. Let's create a script to join your PNG images with their corresponding MP3 audio files. And then it gives me the Python script to actually do what I want it to do. And I'm like floored because I'm like, whoa, I'm moving forward. I'm getting somewhere. If nothing else, I've at least got the environment working, right? So I copy this into it, and then it says save it as a file. So I got to create a file that's a py file, Python file. And I got to tell it where my images folder is, where my audio folder is, and what output file that I want to match. Let me take just a second here to share something with you guys. It's like I wanted to do this And then again, like I said, this has to be exactly what I want. So I'm storing these files in the cloud on Google Drive. I don't want to take the time to download all of the files to my hard drive, right? Because remember, these are audio files, small, and video files, larger. It's going to be 20 minutes, right? Um, Worth of, well, it's not actual video. It's an image, a PNG. But all of that put together is going to be a lot of time just doing the uploads and downloads. And then, of course, after it's created the movie file, then I got to put it into the cloud, and that's going to be more time moving the files back. Well, anyway, I'm like, I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I want it to work the way I want it to work. So I told it somewhere in here, and let me get into for those who care. I mean, some of you, it's like, who gives a shit, John? But I'm just sharing what is for what it's worth, um, for those that are interested. So, at any rate, I take uh, the time and I say to it that my image folder is going to be in Google Drive, um, and so that's what I said. If my image folder is on Google Drive, will this still work? And it's like, yes, the script can work with images stored on Google Drive, but you'll need to make some adjustments since the script currently expects the file to be stored locally on your computer. And then it gives me two approaches. Option one, mount Google Drive to your local file system. Well, guess what? I already have Google Drive mounted as a file system. I've never actually used to the paths to find the file, because your path, like it says, would look something like this: user, main, Google Drive, your image folder. I've never done that before, but I do have Google Drive, mounted, and so it shows up as a folder on my Google file system. So that worked. And if you don't have it, it's a desktop for Google. You just go grab that. It's a free tool. And then once it's mounted, you can access files. You can drag and drop them between your cloud drive and your desktop. So, that's what I do all the time. So that I didn't have to do, or actually, I didn't have to look at option two because I already had option one together. So that's what I was going to do, and it gave me, another option, which this is a file for that, but I wasn't going to do that. I wanted to use the first option. So here's the deal. This is what really worked really well for me. Let's see if I can find this. Is that like if I find like here's the slides in my folder on Google Drive, right? And so when you mount a drive, see how this says Google Drive over here? That's how I can get back and forth through files. You see, this is my, Finder window, and I can drag and drop files between that, and I can access files from the cloud as if they are on my hard drive, right? So, but the only thing is, I really didn't know how to come up with the user slash blah blah blah, the actual path. So here's what I did. I pulled open one of these folders, and I just looked at this file, the first file in one of them, and then I hit get info. This is the magic. So in the info, it does tell you right here where the file is. It's in Google Drive, My Drive, Marketing Jojo, Primary. These are the folders that it's in. It's in primary folder, product flows, AI book accelerator, training core. You know what I'm saying? It's down deep in files. So all I did is highlight this area right here, and I just copied and pasted that into Claude. This is where I was like, oh wow, this is cool. So here it is. I said, here's the drive for the slides. And I hit a colon and pasted what I just had copied and pasted. And once I did that, it says, I see you shared the Google Drive path to your slides. This will work with the script since it's already mounted on your computer, which I just said it was already mounted. I knew it, right? Let's modify the script to use that specific path for your images. So now it goes in, and I'll show you where you're supposed to put the path. See, now it added image folder equals, and it did the path for me. So user, main, library, cloud storage, Google Drive dash my name, John at Colder Ice, or no, third power outlet, and it put that in. I was like, oh snap, this is so cool. So now, it's saying to use a script, you got to do this and that. Well, the next thing I need to do was put the audio folder in. So I said, here's the audio folder. I went out there, copied the location, pasted it in, and it wrote the Python script with that folder in there. Bam, boom. So now I got the image folder, the audio folder. Now the output file is, you know, just putting it wherever it wants to. And I went somewhere here after I realized that that's what it was doing. This is just stuff I had learned to figure out after I'd learned to figure it out. But somewhere in there, it actually ran. It's like, okay, no, I started running it and then I got an error. Well, and all I did was screen copy the error, and the size you see is the size that it was when I copied it. And I copied it in, and it was able to read that and walk me through these errors and back and forth till I get it. But somewhere in here, you know, literally, this probably took me an hour um, uh, until I actually got one that was working. And then I'm trying to figure out where I told it. It's like, okay, it's kind of working. The only thing that was left was I needed the files to be in a folder that I could find it because I was putting these files inside of a shell script folder file in, the user uh, base. I don't know. I couldn't. The only way I could find it was by hitting, the search bar. But anyway, I told it, hey, I want to put that file into my downloads drive, and I just typed that in. I want to put my image when it's complete in the download drive, and it went out there and put that into the file folder that I wanted it in. And now, guys, what you're seeing right here is the thing just running in the background. So while I'm creating this video, been yapping with you guys for like 28 minutes, showing you the process. That whole time, this sucker is running and it's running perfectly. Because as I can see, image 12 is with audio 12. They're in sync. And every time it comes out, let's show you, it's putting files in my full video folders. And these are the modules for the lessons. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're up to number 7 in module 2. There's 3 modules. All it said, like I said, it's going to be 16 of these. And it's running in the background. I'm able to do this kind of, talking. I'm not using any AI. This is a process I don't need AI for. I just needed to do what it's supposed to do. So having said that, let me show you, just to give you a taste of what these look like. And they're perfect, bro. Wait, I don't know if you can hear that. Hold on 2 seconds. I don't know if y'all are hearing that. Let me go over here on my phone and see if there's audio to this sucker. Okay, there's no audio. Let me see. Let's see how I can add audio just to make the whole video thing work and show off that this sucker actually works. So let me remove that from the screen and let me try. try to add a screen share. So let's see, there's your screen share, the whole window. To share audio, share a tab instead. Okay. And that's what it's telling me. If I want audio, I got to share a tab. So let's see. I think that's it. Hold on a sec. No, that's not it. Share a tab. Hmm. Also share tab. So it'll share tab audio, but it won't share. Hmm. I don't know if I can share this video on a tab. That's dumb. Oh, it's asking me to share. Anyway, screw it. I gotta set that up at another time just to really so yeah, share a tab instead. Entire screen. Share a tab instead. That's dumb. I mean, if I want to share a video in a window, I should be able to do that. I don't get it. It makes no sense why I can't share. Oh, maybe it's I got so many tabs and stuff open. Let's see. Uh, damn, man. Well, maybe I'll put a link in here or I'll upload a piece of it to this video feed later because it just doesn't want to share the sound, which would be really kind of cool for you to see how it transitions every time. So basically, what it does is it plays the slide, plays the audio. She's reading the script for each slide because I use a female voice in AI. And every time, and then, oh, that's another thing I did. I told the shell writer, hey, can I make, transitions between slides? And it actually does a transition every time that the slide changes. So it's almost, or it's the exact same as if I were sitting there and moving the slides forward for each one of these audio files. This is absolutely a game changer. And what's the game changer? The game changer is that I was able to actually code something that was an idea in my head that I couldn't find anywhere on the web, a tool that is actually useful for this specific project that I was working on. Man, AI is freaking awesome. But I get it. I get it. I get it. If you just want to make pictures of you so you can catfish the world and make it look like you're cute, I get it. That's that too. But some of us are missing this train. What's happening right now with vibe coding is amazing. And I didn't need any other tool. I used Claude and my computer, and I've written an actual program that I know I'm going to use a lot over and over again. So, anyway, that is my afternoon. I needed something to keep me busy and I could watch videos all day, or I could share my screen with you guys. Hopefully, that's helpful. Think about ways that you can automate things that you do today. Now is the time. It's here. It's here, and it's pretty amazing. All right, I'm out of here. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna really work on this new uh, tool that I got here so I can learn how to share stuff and also see my comments because I don't see any comments. And so I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm just ignoring you. I'm out of here. Peace.